is based on the best-selling novel by Naoki Hector. It is set during World War II, but the story unfolds through the present. The main character is Kyuzo Miyabe, a Zero fighter pilot. He was known among fellow pilots as a coward because he cared about only one thing, coming home alive to be with his wife and baby. After the war, his reputation is deeply divided. The film follows his grandchildren as they investigate who he truly was, and what they discover changes everything. What makes this film shocking is simple. It asks something far more uncomfortable. Is it shameful to want to live? Is wanting to return to your family an act of betrayal? These questions hit especially hard today in an era when war is once again discussed casually, even strategically. Before we go further, we must stop and ask, what was a kamikaze pilot? They were not madmen. They were not fanatics. They were young. Most were in their 20s and even teenagers. There are many kamikaze films in Japan, but history is clear on one point. They showed bravery, but no one wanted to die. They accepted death because they believed it would allow civilians to live, younger generations to survive, and the war to end sooner. This was not enthusiasm, it was resignation, and Miyabe represents the deepest contradiction of all. The Eternal Zero exposes what we might call the structural madness of war. In war, the individual will disappear. The state or the nation decides the value of life, and those who want to live are often the first to die. Look at the world today. Ukraine, Gaza, the Taiwan Strait, and nuclear weapons are discussed as policy tools. In this context, the Eternal Zero is no longer about the past. It is a warning about the future. Technology changes, weapons evolve, but if war begins, those sent to the front will still be ordinary human beings. Miyabe was believed to be inspired by the real pilot, whom the Americans called the Divine Wind. He was an exceptional pilot, possibly the best. The Zero fighter plane required extraordinary skill. Its maneuvers were extremely complex. Miyabe hid his abilities, but on his final mission, when death was unavoidable, he used everything he had: his intelligence, his technique, his mastery of flight, not for glory, not for ideology, but to fulfill his fate with intention. And that is what makes this story unforgettable. If you can, please watch this film and ask yourself not what is right or wrong, but what you would do. Because war is not something to think about after it begins. It is something we must understand before it ever does. Before I end, there is one more thing. If you ever visit Japan, and if you can, go to Chiran in Kagoshima Prefecture. This place was a major airbase and the primary launch point for Imperial Japanese Army Tokko missions during the final stages of World War II. There is a Tokkotai Peace Museum there. Inside, you can read the actual letters written by those young pilots the night before their final flights and other artifacts. They do not write about glory. They do not write about hatred. They write about their lovers, mothers, their younger siblings, unfinished dreams, ordinary hopes. Many of them were young. When you read those letters, it becomes impossible to say that they were madmen. And once you understand that, war stops being an abstract idea. It becomes personal. That is why the eternal zero matters. And that is why remembering these voices matters, because peace is not protected by forgetting, it is protected by understanding.